So I've created my own lollipop function. Super cool. It draws a lollipop on the screen, but it only draws one lollipop in exactly that spot. And I did that by writing my own function called function lollipop and putting a rect and a circle in it. But if you look at some of these other function calls like background or create canvas or even rect and circle, inside the parentheses, they have numbers. But our lollipop function has nothing. You can't customize it in any way. It only makes that lollipop right there. But we can make this function so that the user can customize it. Here's how you would do that. Let's say we want the user to be able to put the lollipop wherever they want, wherever, like whatever X and whatever Y. Inside this parentheses here, we're gonna make a parameter for the X and Y. It's kind of like creating a variable, right? You're gonna give it a name that makes sense. I'm gonna say there'll be a variable or parameter called X and another one called Y. Now, the next thing I have to do is inside this function here, I have to use it. So let's start with the X. Rect takes the X right here, 195, and circle does, but they're different numbers. The cool thing is that you could do math with variables. So since they're 5 away, I could say this one will be X, and then this one was 5 more, so I'm gonna say X plus 5. Then I have another parameter for Y. So, and they're both the same number, right? 200 and 200. So I could just change both of these to Y. So far in my function lollipop, I added 2 parameters, X and Y. And these are like variables, right? I gave them a name that makes sense. And now I've used them inside the definition of a lollipop. So here's the X, and this will be X plus 5, and then there's the Y. Now, if I try to run this right now, I'm gonna get an error because it doesn't know the starting value. So it says circle is expecting a number for the second parameter and received an empty variable. That's because right in here, I haven't given it any numbers to pass along into here. So let's give it a number. So I'll do 200, 100. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. And the cool thing is that I can call lollipop over and over again without having to write out all these instructions down here. And I just put different numbers into this. And then you could have lollipops all over your screen. In today's assignment, there is a function called Mickey, right? And it's inside here in the function draw. But you'll notice if you hit run, it doesn't quite look like Mickey Mouse. You need to change this. I've already defined these parameters for you using X and Y, but the math is a little off. Figure out with your partner, how can you change these numbers to make it look more like a Mickey ear? Go ahead.